Space. An endless void yet to be discovered. Over the last half-century, humans have made many advances in attempts to explore the unknown. Although many of these attempts, such as missions to the moon and expeditions by space probes including Voyagers 1 and 2, have been successful, there are still billions of universes and galaxies that are unexplored. Even though humans and their technology haven't reached these faraway places, scientists have data about what lies in these galaxies and potential harms such as asteroids coming our way. How are scientists able to get this data? What tools make it possible to understand the great void that is space? I want you to think about these questions and ask yourself, what has made previous attempts to explore space successful? Take about 10 seconds to think about this. Now for the answer. The key to all these previous space expeditions was math. I know what you're thinking. Math? How does math relate to space? Math is actually the key to space exploration and calculation of distances and objects from the Earth. Now that we know that math is the key, let's dive into how math is used specifically. First, let's talk about space exploration. Let's use John Glenn's expedition to orbit the Earth in 1962 as an example. At that time, space exploration technology was just developing, and this technology wasn't always reliable. However, the things that were reliable were those working for NASA at the time. These people used various concepts in calculus and physics to calculate the route needed to be taken by John Glenn, the trajectory needed for re-entry into Earth's atmosphere, and many other factors to make the mission a success. These calculations were a critical part of the mission, and without them, John Glenn would have never made it to space. Since then, space exploration has increased, but instead of sending humans into space, we rely on technology such as space probes and rovers. These technologies are programmed ahead of time using mathematical functions to ensure that they are successful on their expeditions. Other than exploration in space, math is used to calculate the distance between objects in space. Let's take the sun for example. Humans and the technology we create has never been near the sun due to the extreme conditions. However, we are still able to calculate the distance between Earth and the sun using math. Looking at the orbit and relative position of the Earth to the sun helps us determine the distance. The relative position of Venus also helped in the determination of how far the sun was away from the Earth, and to this day is used to determine the given distance from the sun. You may be thinking that this is pure astronomy in action, but remember that math is present in all aspects of astronomy. Along with calculating the distance between objects, math is also used to determine if potential hazards are going to hit the Earth. Let's take the simple example of asteroids and meteors. Most meteors or asteroids that enter the Earth's atmosphere are very small in size and therefore are burned up in the mesosphere layer of the Earth. However, if an asteroid or meteor was big enough, it could have a catastrophic impact and change life as we know it. To predict the impact of asteroids and meteors, scientists determine the size of these objects using math. Determining the size of an asteroid or meteor helps determine if there will be a potential impact in a certain area. Many times, scientists are able to predict the impact of asteroids and meteors, but there are some times where they haven't been able to do this. In 2013, a meteor 20 yards in size, the size of 1/5 of a football field, hit Russia. You may be thinking, that's not that big of an object, but the impact it had was stronger than that of a nuclear explosion, and detections were made from points all the way in Antarctica. This is a rare occurrence that happened though, as many asteroids and meteors that enter the Earth's atmosphere are burned up. However, using math to predict the outcome of this tragedy would have made a big impact on those living near the area. The field of math has impacted various aspects of space exploration and has made an impact on how we find objects in space. New galaxies with planets similar to that of Earth, such as the planet Kepler 452b, have been discovered. Recently, NASA has also made the announcement that a black hole has been discovered in one of the far-reaching corners of space. The use of technology with the field of math has enabled us to explore regions of space that have never been seen before, and as the field of mathematics continues to advance and technology continues to improve, space will one day no longer be a mystery to us.